Yo, how is it going, Bears fans? Welcome back to the Beared Down channel, where we talk everything Bears every day of the week. I am your host, Chris Maltby, and today I am going to be premiering our brand new series, Beared Down Uncut, on the channel. Let me explain what it's like for you guys, and then I'll get right into the first episode. I got a little script I'm going to read out, so... Welcome to Beared Down Uncut, a brand new series on the channel where we will be having some members on our team, whether that be podcast hosts, contributors, assistant editors, our editor-in-chief, coming on for a short 5 to 10 minute video talking about a specific topic for you guys. That is in case you guys don't want to listen to our entire 20 to 30 minute podcast. Our assistant editor, Ryan Cusack, was the one that came up with this idea. And the main point of it is that the audio is uncut, and you're hearing our raw thoughts and emotions. So some of these might get chippy in the future, depending on what specific topic we decide to talk on. So let's just get right into this first episode. Obviously, I'm kicking it off here with the premiere. You'll get one from Ryan tomorrow. I think it's a great idea that we're doing this because it's a change of scenery for us, and it's also just more content for you guys. You guys have been repping and supporting on the channel big time recently, so keep it up. Let's get right into this first one. So today in the first episode of Uncut, the question I'm going to be answering is 2020 Tarik Cohen's last season in Chicago? So let's just get right into it. And obviously there might be a little bit of bad audio. I mean, it is uncut. That's kind of the authentic part about it. But let's get right into it. We all saw what was supposed to be the three-headed monster of Tarik Cohen, Mike Davis, and David Montgomery in 2019. Let me remind you all of Run DMC. That was the name that the Bears social media team gave to the trio, hyping them up, hoping that they were going to be able to produce in 2019. Mike Davis signed a 2-year, $6 million deal with the Bears following the 2018 season. He became a very, very much so a non-factor early on, never finding his footing. He caught 6 passes for 17 yards during 2019. And the Bears ended up cutting him in November to gain the compensatory 4th-round pick that they ended up using to acquire Nick Foles of the Jacksonville Jaguars last month. So, honestly, if Foles turns out well, that was probably worth it cutting Mike Davis. He was really doing nothing in Chicago, and most people think Foles is going to start, so I'm actually fine with that. But obviously, he didn't pan out how he wanted to. As for David Montgomery, he had a solid season behind an offensive line that went awry early. He rushed for 889 yards and 6 touchdowns, and also had 25 catches for 185 yards and 1 touchdown in 2019. Over 1,000 all-purpose yards. He is really looking to expand on that more in 2020, and I'm really excited to see what he can do, because hoping that the Bears improve the offensive line through this upcoming NFL draft is something that's really important. We have 2 second-round picks. I expect them to take an offensive tackle or an inside offensive lineman with an interior offensive lineman with one of them. And we'll see where they go with the other one, but they should be able to add a day 1 starter through the draft. And they also are moving Jermaine Fetty back to guard, a move that a lot of people aren't too happy about, but personally, I like it. So now let's get into Cohen. He's the one we're here to talk about today. After entering the league in 2017 as a 4th-round pick out of North Carolina, Cohen really blew us Bears fans away in his first 2 seasons in Chicago. I remember watching him at the Week 1 game against the Atlanta Falcons in 2018. Or it might have been 2017. It was 2017. And I was like, holy crap, this guy's great. Yeah, it was 2017 because Mike Glenn was playing quarterback. But he was elusive in the open field. He really was good. And he totaled over 1,000 receiving yards and 800 rushing yards in his first 2 seasons as a member of the Bears. So really good. 2019 was much different for Cohen. He had anywhere from 6 to 9 drops on Pro Football Focus. I think it said he had 9 drops last season. He also totaled 269 less receiving yards on 8 more catches, so clearly much less impactful in the receiving game. Since joining the Bears in 2017, he's been a hybrid contributor. Cohen has contributed on both offense and on special teams. He made the Pro Bowl in 2018. We all know that as a punt returner. He was voted a member of the All-Pro First Team as a punt returner. And things were looking very good for Cohen coming into 2019, and obviously we know it didn't really turn out how we all expected. We really saw a different Tarik Cohen in 2019. Just to go through some more stats, he played 50% of the offensive snaps in 2019, but his snap counts have dropped on special teams since his rookie campaign. His yards after catch and broken tackles dropped significantly if you look at the stats between the past 2 seasons. And also between 2018 and 2019, his drop pass percentage rose from 1.1% to 8.7% in 2019. So definitely something you don't want to look for as well. Look, I'm going to give my thoughts on this one quickly. It's uncut. It's supposed to be quick. I think there's some great late-round picks in this year's draft that could serve as some great replacements for Cohen. As much as it hates me to say it, I love Tarik. But guys like DJ Dallas and another one that I really like, Raymond Callis. Guys who can do it in the receiving game, and especially Callis, someone who's going to be available 5th, 6th round. He can really take off the top of a defense. He's got the speed similar to Cohen, and you would hope that he would be a better receiver than Cohen. The thing that worries me about Cohen is I'm worried about the price tag he asks for. Believe me, I 100% want him to be back on the team in 2020. I'm not sure what type of price tag his team is going to bring to the table based on him being an All-Pro and a Pro Bowler in 2018. All I'm going to say is that I think he needs to up his production in 2020 if he wants to get that paycheck in Chicago. I think there's a very likely chance that he isn't a Bear in 2021 if he can't play like that 2018 form Tarik Cohen we all fell in love with once again. I really think he needs to step it up in 2020. He needs to go back to the basics and doing what he's good at doing. I think in 2019, we saw him being stretched a lot towards the sidelines, and I don't think that's the best thing for a guy like Tarik Cohen, who some people were calling the Sideline Magnet last season. That might be a little bit on play calling. I know the quarterback play was tough. The offensive line was tough last season, but he was going towards the sidelines more often, and I think the one thing that we can all agree about with Tarik Cohen is he is most dangerous when he is in the middle of the field in open field. We all saw him with that great punt return for a touchdown he had against the 49ers a couple years ago, evading tacklers on that one, moving around in free space and creating space for himself, basically. I think also something that could help him is getting a traditional fullback. Obviously, the Bears probably aren't going to do that, but getting someone back there when you're running him, I don't think he's that great in the run. But when you're running Tarik Cohen, you really need to open up gaps for him because he's a tiny guy. So I think moving maybe a tight end like a J.P. Holtz into a fullback spot in I formation to try and, open up gaps for him more, whether it's the A gap or the B gap, to try and get him up there in halfback dives and halfback stretches is something that's going to be important. I think he needs to be more productive, though. If he wants that paycheck in Chicago, I think his team's going to bring to the table that he was great in 2018. No one is doubting that. He was absolutely awesome in 2018. All I'm going to say on this one is I don't know what's going to happen. I think it could go either way. I think he could return to Chicago. I think he couldn't. I think I'm leaning a little bit towards Tarik Cohen not returning in 2021, but it all really depends on what happens for him in 2020. If he goes out and balls out in 2020, his price tag could be really high and we may not be able to pay that. We've already paid Eddie Jackson to become the highest paid safety in the league. We're looking to extend Allen Robinson. We're looking to eventually extend guys like James Daniels and Anthony Miller on the offensive side of the ball. There's a lot to worry about. I think Cohen is expendable, and I think Cohen, honestly, is replaceable. So that's pretty much going to do it for this first episode of Uncut. We'll see what happens with Tarik Cohen in 2020. There's no doubt that he has a ton of talent and can do great things in this league, but I'm not completely sure that he gets his paycheck from Chicago. If you guys would like to check out my fan page on Instagram, you can check it out. The link is in the description to Deshaun Bears News. If you'd like more content from me and the guys, please do me a favor and check out our website, beareddown.com. Once again, I am your host, Chris Maltby, with this first episode of Uncut. Comment below if you want more stuff like this, and also comment below some topics you guys want to hear. Ryan Cusack will be on the next one of these, and I'm pretty sure it will come out the day or maybe 2 days after you see this one. So that's pretty much it for this one, guys. I've been Chris Maltby, and it has been wonderful talking to you guys. Thank you for everyone who has tuned in till the end. And as always, bear down Chicago. Peace.